This is a 2019 Porsche 718 Boxster. I'm going to give you my review in the form of 10 things you need to know. Am I going to spend the next 10 minutes gushing about how great this Boxster is? Probably. Let's get into the list. Number 10 is the look of this car. So they redesigned it completely in 2017. That included making the side gills much larger. They changed the front end. The lights are a little bit more square looking. I think that the rear end with the elevated panel across the back really brings it all together in kind of a ducktail look that's unique, as well as the classic Boxster center mounted exhaust. So I love this car. I think that it looks outstanding. What do you think of the Boxster's look? So going with the overall theme, number 9 is the key fob. So this key fob is shaped a lot like what a Porsche Silhouette looks like. They use it for all their vehicles. You do have to actually put it in the ignition. Classic Porsche, it's on the left side. And one other thing that I really like about this key fob, again going back to the attention to detail, the sound that the car makes when you lock it, it's just this quiet, light, crisp click. It's not obnoxious or loud, it's not the horn, but it lets you know you locked the car, you can move on and not worry about whether or not you actually clicked it all the way. So I really like the key fob. Not to mention you can open the front and the rear storage areas. Oops. So just check that out. It's premium. It looks great. You would expect it on the 911, but you also get it on the Boxster. All right, number 8 is, normally I would talk about the safety features, but I want to talk specifically about the parking system. So this car has front and rear sensors. It's got a great rear view camera, but the sensors themselves show up in a really clean way that shows you about how far it thinks the object that you're either coming close to, whether it's on the side or the back. So it really helps parking this car. It's already small and easy to park, but because of the way it sits and how you're down in the car, you could lose sight of some lower stuff. And so because of that, I really like that it has this parking system. Not to mention it helps keep you from putting some curb rash from pulling up too close on a parking spot. You probably do have to still watch some low curbs, but I really like the parking system. I wanted to show it to you as part of its kind of safety system of keeping your Porsche, clean, neat, and free of dents. And all right, number 7, the storage. So this is a 2-seat roadster. You should expect to get little to no storage, and yet this Porsche Boxster has 2 trunks. You've got one in the back that can store a carry-on suitcase and a backpack, and then the one in the front that can do the same. And so you could take this on a road trip. This Boxster, while small and tight, still has some good storage space. Inside the cabin, you've got 2 sets of side storage, a decent sized glove box, and even a small center console. And so it's by no means roomy. You get a lot more storage than you were probably expecting. I think that that's something that goes back to the Porsche designers' attention to detail. They did a great job of providing as much storage as possible while still keeping the compact package that the Boxster is known for. Check out these cup holders. Engage. Yeah. All right, number 6 is the soft top. So unlike its brother or sister vehicle, the Cayman, all Boxsters come in convertible, and it has a really nice top. It feels premium. The car looks great with the top up, but it's definitely designed for when that top is down. click a single button and you just hold it. It takes about 10 seconds, and before you know it, you're out in the California sun. It's a beautiful day here. I'm going to take it for a drive later, but all that one button gets the top right down in just about 10 seconds. It's pretty nice. I like that it's easy to operate. There's no manual function. Definitely feels luxurious. It's not as quiet as I would have thought with the top up, but then again, it's a convertible, so you shouldn't expect to have no road noise. Let's get that top back up. All right, before I continue with the list, please click that like button. It helps my video. It helps promote this video and my channel, which I appreciate. Thank you for watching, and let's get back to the list. All right, number 5, when Porsche updated this Boxster and the Cayman, they switched from the previous 6-cylinder that the Boxster and Cayman were known for and dropped down to a 4-cylinder. That's when they added the 718 part of the nameplate. I personally was a little disappointed to hear about that, but I had not had the opportunity to drive one, and I got to tell you, I was wrong. This 718 4-cylinder is awesome. It's surprisingly kind of has a gruff or deeper note than you would expect from a 4-cylinder. It puts some of the other 4-cylinders that are out there to complete shame, not to mention it's mounted right at the back. So 300 horsepower, comes with the 8-speed PDK. It moves from 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds, powered from the rear wheels with the engine sitting right over the rear axle, which is, of course, right back here. Let me start it up for you. Love it. All right, number 4, what's this car like to drive? Well, it's precise, it's sharp, it's confidence inspiring. I mentioned the 0 to 60 time of 4.9 seconds. And to put it in perspective, that's about as fast as the 911 Carrera was only 6 or 7 years ago. So it moves pretty quick. I really like driving this car. I think that it's probably one of the most easily streetable, it's very usable power and isn't overpowered by any means. So you're not sitting there, with a giant engine that you can't use. Okay, number 3, the infotainment system and backup camera. They're sharp, easy to control. I found it very intuitive. There's lots of buttons, and so the AC controls in particular, you kind of got to look at it for a second to figure it out, but it's not complicated. As well as the whole center cluster just gives it its own personality. It's very much themed like the 911 Carrera system, which I think for the newest 911, they've really cleaned it up and made it even more simple. But the screen also has a matte finish, which I also really like. It definitely doesn't reflect sun as much as some of the other screens. So overall, I give it a pretty good rating. But then again, who cares? This car is about driving. Okay, number 2, the interior. It's elegant, it's luxurious, it comes with good materials. You've got some matte finish materials around the dash, combined, the black and silver, kind of has a very sporty feeling. You can customize your Porsche. You can get lots of different color interior options if you're willing to pay for those. But the seats are comfortable. I have a lot of room, a lot more than I expected. The seat, I was able to get comfortable. I've got plenty of leg room, and I sit at a good height. So I really like that this, while a small convertible, still feels comfortable inside on the interior. The controls and layout are exactly what you'd expect from a Porsche. Simple, clean, elegant design. The interior looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, and then the number 1 thing you need to know is the price. So that's really where the issue for me starts. The starting price for this Porsche, the standard, is $59,000. If you want the Boxster S, you go up to $71,400. And then here's the thing. If you want to start adding options, they are expensive. Just the 14-way power adjustable front driver's seat is a $2,300 option. When you start adding it, you can easily get into the 70s and even the 80s. And so final thoughts. I think this is the best usable, everyday 2-seat convertible that you can buy for your money. The problem is, for me, really is around how much it cost. While I do think it's the best, is it twice as good as a Mazda Miata? It's twice the price. You could literally get two Miatas for the price of this Boxster. I'm just not sure that I believe it's that good. Let me know what you think in the comments. But again, if you're looking at buying a Boxster, if you're on the fence and you can afford one, don't hesitate. Buy this car. It is fantastic. I absolutely recommend it. Thanks for watching. Let me give you those 3 gripes. So the first one, the top is just a little bit loud. I found it to be louder than some other cars I've driven, including the Ford Mustang convertible. And so while it's by no means loud, it's just not as quiet as I was expecting from maybe the level of attention to detail I found in other parts of the car. The second is there's just kind of a slight blind spot right here. It has to do with how high the seat is, and then this pillar just sits up a little bit. Definitely with the top up, it's a real blind spot. But even with the top down, it's a bit of a blind spot right there. Very minor gripe. And then the third, and this was really just a problem with this vehicle, but my settings kept returning to default. And so I ended up with kilometers and a Celsius on the temperature. And so while I can read both, it's just not common for what we use in the US. And so I don't know why it kept returning. I could change it, but as soon as I would restart the car, it would come back. So that's my review. Again, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.